I don't think that Drake and Kendrick like each other. Taking a look at all 10 diss tracks, I'm gonna decide who came out victorious and who has to wear the loser hat, which I put a lot of effort into. The first spark to ignite this flame was the song First Person Shooter by Drake featuring J. Cole. This song came out on Drake's 2023 album For All the Dogs, and it frickin' slaps. Now on this song, the rapper J. Cole says this line that I will not rap because, trust me, you do not want to hear that. Love when they argue the hardest MC, is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey, or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. It's really a compliment, actually. If I was being told I was one of the best three rappers alive, I would shit my pants extremely hard. We'll soon find out that Kendrick didn't take this as a compliment. But in the song, J. Cole says that right now he feels like Muhammad Ali, who is known for being arguably the best boxer of all time. Or the GOAT, as the kids call it nowadays. So he's pretty bluntly saying that right now, he's number one. After I did a little bit more research, I found out that Kendrick rejected Drake after being asked to feature on First Person Shooter. This is very sad, considering everything that happens next. All Drake wanted was to have a wholesome moment with a song having the three biggest rappers on it right now. It would have been historical. But it didn't happen like that. I think I'm the Muhammad Ali of epic transitions. Then on March 22nd, 2024, Metro Boomin and Future released their collaboration album, We Don't Trust You, which had Kendrick Lamar feature on the song Like That. And yes, it slaps. But this song began to get a lot of attention because on Kendrick Lamar's verse, he disses Drake and J. Cole pretty bluntly. On this track, he goes in, saying, "Fuck sneak dissing, first person shooter, I hope they came with free switches." Now this is some spicy stuff. He calls out Drake and J. Cole's collab on First Person Shooter from Drake's album with the dog title, and then he says this: "Motherfuck the big three, it's just big me." Saying that there is no big three or a toss up between who is the best rapper. It's just Kendrick. Then he says, Prince outlived Mike Jack, which is important because Kendrick is referring to himself as Prince, saying that Prince lived longer than Michael Jackson, and Drake refers to himself a lot as Michael Jackson, claiming that he is one hit away from beating him. Kendrick's saying this because Prince did outlive Jackson by like 7 years, but also he's probably saying that his legacy and his music will live on longer than Drake's. Also, Prince and Michael Jackson had a very complicated beef throughout their careers and were always being compared to one another. After Michael Jackson died, Prince was devastated. He stopped performing shows for a while, and there are many great stories about how Michael Jackson's death affected Prince. What I find insane though is the comparisons to Drake as Michael Jackson and Kendrick as Prince, because there are a ton. I'll get into more as the video goes on, but just like Kendrick refused to feature on Drake's First Person Shooter a long time ago in a village far, far away. Was that funny? Prince refused to be on Michael Jackson's song Bad because he thought the lyrics were weird, and he didn't want to sing the first line, "Your butt is mine," which is so funny because Prince lyrics are way more explicit than "Your butt is mine." He's literally the reason why the parental advisory sticker exists. Also, I had no idea MJ said that, and I've heard "bad" so many times. Anyways, after the song came out, people started freaking out. Rap had been boring for a while, and we really needed some sort of entertainment. And we got what we asked for because less than a month later, this came out.
Shop and give them 50.
But before that came out, J. Cole released a diss track on Kendrick called 7 Minute Drill, and then immediately apologized.
That was the lamest, like, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do.
The whole rap community thought he was a joke. Literally everyone just made fun of him and thought he made a mistake. But he didn't. Drake's Push-Ups is a hard-hitting diss track that slaps and also goes in on everybody. The Weeknd, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, and Cole himself. But he mainly goes after Kendrick, and he calls him short. There's just no way he's gonna be able to come back from that. Also, what's fantastic about this whole thing, and kudos to both artists for doing this, is that they removed copyright restrictions from their diss tracks, so reaction streamers and YouTubers could post the videos without getting copyright claims. Which is the only reason as to why I'm making this video, because that YouTube money is non-existent. Literally, like, I'm not monetized yet, but subscribe because we are almost at 1,000 subs, and big number make me feel good. Let's go through some bars. Firstly, the title Push-Ups has a double entendre. Within the chorus, Drake says, "Hey, better first meaning mocking Kendrick's workout routine because he does push-ups. Okay. The second being that his ex-label Top Dog Entertainment apparently took 50% of his earnings. Kendrick hasn't confirmed whether this is true or not, but he left his label on good terms in 2022, so we really don't know.
You ain't in no big three. SZA got you wiped down. Travis got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down.
Here he's saying that SZA, Travis Scott, and 21 Savage all had bigger albums than Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Drake makes a lot of jabs at Kendrick's last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, because I guess not a lot of people liked it because of how brutally honest it was. There's also another reference to Michael Jackson where he says,
"Big difference between Mike then and Mike now,"
which Genius says. In this line, he is drawing the same comparison, but points out that Michael Jackson back then was peaceful and did not diss nor involve himself in beef, but the new Mike, or in this case Drake, is ready for war.
You won't never take no chain off of us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 man's on?
Did you guys know that Kendrick was short? Mind blowing. I know. The YouTube channel Turning the Tables, where son shows his dad music for the first time, they had a great point on this.
What could J. Cole really diss Kendrick about? I mean, Kendrick's a great lyricist, fucking classic albums, critically acclaimed, Grammys, prizes, everything.
I'm just looking for the line. Yeah.
And then we're like, well, he could just go at his height, you know? You can't fucking play basketball.
Yeah, but that's
Overall, this was a great diss track, but this wasn't.
Illuminati.
This shit is straight ass.
Okay, hell.
Okay, fine, let's talk about it. On Instagram, so this is an unreleased song, Drake used AI to make Tupac and Snoop Dogg rap. No, this is actually so stupid, and the song itself sounds like horse shit. The lyrics itself are fine, but the actual use of AI to do these voices and to use Tupac is just a horrible, terrible thing to do, made to piss Kendrick off. Tupac was a rapper that Kendrick was really inspired by and he looked up to a lot, and he's dead? Question mark? So I understand why Drake used a AI voice for Tupac, but Snoop Dogg? He's alive, I think. Maybe, and most likely, Snoop Dogg doesn't like Drake, so he used an AI voice instead, but I don't know why. This song sounds the exact opposite of euphoric. Alright, cut me some slack, okay? I had to get this video out before the drama.
Okay, Hellcat, made his own boys in
At the end of Drake's tailor-made freestyle, he says,
"Shit better be crazy. We waiting on you." Yeah.
Drake gets an answer to that question with Kendrick's Euphoria, a 6-minute diss track that came out on a Tuesday morning. What the hell? And Drake was probably still asleep when this came out, so smart thinking from Kendrick. I remember seeing this on YouTube, and oh my god, this shit slaps. With 3 beat changes, this is a powerful comeback against Drake's song, and this is when we knew that Kendrick was not doing this for attention. He hates Drake.
This has always been about love and hate. Now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct.
Oh, good heavens! He hates his ass, and Kendrick has some of the best lyricism you will hear on this song. What puts Drake at a disadvantage is that he doesn't have much that he can really diss Kendrick on. Mr. Morale is known for Kendrick's very personal storytelling, and he lets the world know everything that he's got going on. But Drake, he doesn't. More on that topic later, because Kendrick calls Drake a
know you're a master manipulator and a habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
Kendrick really pushes the narrative of Drake being a master manipulator. This comes up again, but is a strong accusation and is definitely something that you don't want to be called. Hey bro, yo, so someone told me that you're a master manipulator. So, are you? No. Oh, okay. Kendrick also gets into some personal subject matter, like,
how many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough?
Kendrick says this because Drake is light-skinned, as his mother is white and his father is black. So he really taps into Drake's insecurity that he's not black enough, which is why Drake gets features from a lot of black artists, which makes him feel like he's a part of black culture. It's a weird gray area that Kendrick takes full advantage of. He ends the track by saying,
we don't wanna hear you say nigga no more. Stop.
Jinkies! 3 days later, Kendrick Lamar posted the track 616 in LA to Instagram. The cover of this post being a glove placed over a red and white shirt. Later, we would see the full meaning of this image, but for now, let's take a look at some of the biggest allegations.
Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever, let's see, have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?
So OVO is Drake's record label, and Kendrick's saying that someone from inside Drake's party is actually feeding him information and working for him. This track I see as a warning shot towards Drake. Kendrick's saying that he has a lot of information that he's gonna show to the public if Drake continues to advance. Then at the end, he says,
before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
Kendrick thinks that Drake will have a similar fate to Michael Jackson because he was killed by the drugs that his doctor had given him. This hints towards Drake having a drug addiction, which, like, it's just the very tip of the iceberg. So, did Drake respond to Kendrick's 2 disses? The answer is yes, of course he did.
Yeah.
Then we got Drake's 3rd diss, Family Matters. This is the longest song out of all the tracks on this list with about 7.5 minutes, and there are also 3 beat switches just like Euphoria. In part 1, Drake opens up by saying the N-word a lot.
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying
Kendrick said that he doesn't like it when Drake says it, so this was expected. Drake's choruses are also always very catchy, and the same thing goes for this song.
I was really trying to keep it PG. I was really trying to keep it PG.
I was really trying to keep it PG. The main allegation from part 1 comes when Drake says this.
I heard that one of them little kids might be day free.
I really love how he held that note. That definitely won't come back to bite him in the ass. Drake says that Kendrick's pal, Dave Free, got pregnant with Kendrick's wife, Whitney Alford, which, if that's true, that's pretty crazy. In part 2, he breaks down some of the information from Kendrick's diss tracks and also claims that Kendrick's cousin and another rapper, Baby Keem, is ghostwriting all of Kendrick's songs, and then also says this.
Good kid, Mad City van, will pot a latch and make the door slide.
The van from the album cover of Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City is squished in this music video into a tiny little cube. Which is very funny to me that Drake hired a bunch of people to get that van, drive it all the way back to Canada, just so that he could flatten it. Then in part 3, it gets very serious.
When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense cause she bigger than you?
Drake is claiming that Kendrick is a wife beater and assaulted her after finding out that one of his kids is Dave Freeze. It's really serious stuff, and like I said, we don't know what is true.
They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. The picture you painted ain't what it seemed. You did.
Wow. How's Kendrick ever gonna come back from that? Back in 2018, Drake was in another beef with the rapper Pusha T, which then he said that Drake had been hiding a secret child named Adonis. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. I just kind of felt like it.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest.
Not even an hour after Drake's Family Matters comes out, Kendrick responds with Meet the Grams. This song is devastating. And before we get into the track, there is no way that Kendrick Lamar wrote this whole song after hearing Family Matters. He had this ready to go. My personal game theory is that Kendrick Lamar wrote a bunch of disses after Drake's first diss track and would only release them if Drake continued to respond. So if Drake just gave up and didn't release Family Matters, Kendrick might have let him live. But that did not happen. Now, who are the Grams is what I asked Google the first time I heard this, and it's literally Drake's last name. So the first time I heard this, I had no idea it would be anything like what it is. This song is broken down into 4 verses. Verse 1 covers Drake's son Adonis, so let's talk about that. The basic premise is nothing other than evil genius. Kendrick is writing a personal letter to each member of Drake's family, and he starts with this.
Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership.
So Ozempic is a weight loss drug that a lot of celebrities have been using recently to lose weight in a very fast period of time. And if we look at the album cover of this song, it's a zoomed out version of 616 with a tiny pill bottle that says Ozempic with Drake's name on it. The Brazilians line meaning a BBL, aka Brazilian butt lift, which Kendrick is hilariously claiming that Drake got. So if you're wondering why you've been seeing those BBL Drizzy TikToks appear up on your feed, then this is why. which is also a great Paramore album. Verse 2, he writes towards Drake's parents, which is just purely evil.
Dear Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator.
Again, he's saying that Drake is a master at manipulating people, and then he says,
I'm blaming you for all his gambling addictions, psychopath intuition, the man that liked to play victim. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die.
Wow. Holy shit. I'm starting to think that Kendrick doesn't really like this guy. Then it just keeps going.
He got sex offenders on Hovio that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle, he should die so all of these women can live with a purpose.
I think my toes just curled inwards, dude. Then he calls Drake a predator. I think he took Drake's comparison to Michael Jackson a little too seriously. I literally haven't heard anyone else talk about that, and I think that that's insane. Drake thinks that he's like Michael and then gets predator allegations thrown at him, just like Michael Jackson did. Of course, we don't know what is true and what to believe, but after the song came out, there was a lot of clips going around of Drake, yeah.
Y'all gonna have me get carried away again. I get in trouble for shit like this. How old are you?
Okay, verse 3 can't be anywhere as crazy as that one. Can it? Can it? Can it?
Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world.
Congrats, Drake, on the second child. Just like Pusha T, Kendrick is claiming that Drake is hiding another child. Which then Drake posted to Instagram. Nah, can someone find my hidden daughter and send her to me? These guys are in shambles. He typed that with his left hand while doing this pose. This allegation was insane, as you can see from the body language of these reactions. Then people went digging through Drizzy's Twitter and found a post where he literally just typed baby girl, which later in the song Kendrick says,
or at your 11th birthday singing poems with you.
Which, if my maths is correct, Google, how long ago was 2012? 11 years ago. Oh my goodness. Finally, in verse 4, Kendrick writes to Drake himself.
You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting women problems.
There are a lot of things going on here that are insane allegations. Saying that he's an alcoholic, drug addict, spending addict, and paying women to do the dirty and squirty. Gross! Then listen to the vocal layering in these next few bars.
You lied about your ghost riders. You lied about your crew members. They all pussy. You lied on them. I know they all got you in them.
It's almost like Kendrick paid God for a feature on this track. After I finished that track, I and many others were thinking that the beef was over. But Kendrick couldn't be stopped.
Mustard on the beat, ho.
The fourth diss track by Kendrick Lamar is called Not Like Us, and it became very clear that you do not want to mess with Kendrick.
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
So yeah, holding a note, came back and bit Drake right in his voluptuous ass. After doubling down on the pedophile narrative, Kendrick goes all in on Drake's allegations and everything he had to do with minors. And turns it into a funky club banger. It slaps. He references Drake's Tupac AI diss, which was a dumb move by Drake because now the Tupac estate are suing him. He also calls Drake gay a lot, which is like, you know, if Drake actually is a part of the LGBT plus community, let him reveal that shit on his own terms, okay? But other than that, yeah!
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
This song has become an absolute hit, becoming the fastest song to reach over 1 million units, doing so in just 12 days. The cover is also a photo of Drake's mansion, which Kendrick, don't dox him too, with the red markers being from an app which tracks sex offenders, which Kendrick is trying to say that Drake lives in a house filled with a bunch of pedophiles. So, Drake is screwed. But wait, there's more. Drake desperately had to save his image. So on the 5th of May, 2024, Drake released The Heart Part 6. The title in reference to Kendrick Lamar's The Heart series, where before every album came out, I think he would release one of these songs. The song is just defense mode from Kendrick's allegations from his last 2 songs. One thing that stood out to me was when Drake said,
"We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it."
Responding saying, "Hey, I actually don't have a daughter, and Kendrick, you are stupid because you didn't check any of the information before writing the song." Then Drake says,
"I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested."
And also says,
"Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list."
And then says,
"I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with."
I don't understand you saying that you're too famous to be a pedophile, because there are so many famous pedophiles, which the streamer Ludwig explained way better than I ever could.
I'm too famous to be a pedophile. It's crazy because there's so many famous pedophiles. I don't know the amount of pedophiles in the world, but I do feel like disproportionately they are famous, because I feel like a lot of times people are using their fame, their power, to leverage it into doing heinous acts that are otherwise the average citizen is not doing.
It's a song defending himself, his legacy, and calling Kendrick Lamar a dirty little liar. So what did the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, have to say about this 7 years ago?
If Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
Gotta go with Kendrick.